Hey everyone and welcome back to Fan-Made. Nintendo is having a great year so far and there are no signs of slowing down. We've already seen the release of the Nintendo Switch, Splatoon 2 and Metroid Return of Samus, and this week marks the release of Super Mario Odyssey. This entry in the Mario franchise will embrace the theme of traveling that has been so central in Nintendo's strategy for the last few years. And we see this theme presented the best in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Zelda games have always been more about the adventure than about the end goal of defeating the bad guy and saving the kingdom. And Breath of the Wild was the next big step forward in that theme. And what a step it was! Just saying it was a good game would be a massive understatement for so many fans of the franchise. A big reason for this was how Nintendo was able to build every single aspect of their game around the open world map. Another Nintendo franchise that's more about the journey than about the end goal instead of Pokémon. And if any franchise deserves an open world game, it's this one. So with Nintendo's next big hit coming out this week, now's the best time to talk about how Pokémon should go open world like Breath of the Wild. When looking at Breath of the Wild, there are to me a few points that sets it apart from most other open world games. There's only one mission, all gameplay mechanics are unlocked after the tutorial, you're free to go wherever you want, whenever you want, there is an incentive to explore, and there's a truly skill-based combat system. So let's look how Pokémon should implement these features in their own open world game. Of course there's more than just one mission in Breath of the Wild, but if you want to beat the game from the start, this mission is available. And it's simple, beat Ganon. Of course you can collect all of Link's memories, or you can beat all the shrines, but you don't have to, and that's the point. So what's the one thing everyone in the Pokémon world encounters? In every main series game there's always been the evil team that wants to use the power of the local legendary Pokémon to accomplish their evil actions. So no matter where you are in the region, you'll eventually encounter them. So stopping them becomes your most urgent task. So with that in mind, the goal of the evil team should be something that spreads them out across the entire region. And while we're at it, let's also make their goal a little bit more grounded. I'm looking at you, Lizamine. So with that, their goal should be to take over the region with the help of the power of the local legendary Pokémon. It's clean, it's simple, and you're bound to run into them because of this. And to make sure you don't forget about them, the grunts and admins are spread across the entire map causing trouble. So it's up to you to find their base, to defeat their leader and save the legendary Pokémon and the region. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still need to get our starters and set off on our journey. And this is where I want to make the biggest difference between this and Breath of the Wild. After Link wakes up from his 100 years of sleeping, he can just go straight to Ganon. No tutorial required. While I understand tutorials can be quite annoying, I'm planning on making some big changes from the other main series games, making one pretty necessary. As always, you live in the same town as the regional professor, and you're now old enough to go out and start your journey. But before you can get your starter, you have to finish the Pokémon exam. This is basically your tutorial where you learn all about battling and catching Pokémon. After completing the exam, you're free to choose your starter. And once you did that, you're free to go wherever you want in the entire region. Only you know what your goal is and what Pokémon you want to add to your team. You want to go to a beach town and catch a water type? You can. You want to go to a nearby cave system and explore? You can. You want to go to the nearest gym and battle as soon as possible? You can. The world is open and ready to be explored. But don't expect the world to remain the same as you're traveling, because various endgame events and locations will become accessible based on your actions. And you will want to explore the various places the region has to offer, because how else are you gonna find all your favorite Pokémon? You wanna catch a Tauros? You better go to the Eastern Plain. Or you have your eyes on a Tyranitar? Well, you have to hike through the northern mountains and hope you're lucky. And even if you want to beat the entire game with 6 top percentage Rattatas, you'll have to travel throughout the entire region to participate in any of the major side quests. And these are more than your typical fetch quests. Just like everything else in the game, these are all about your journey. There will be quests that are as big or even bigger than defeating the main evil team. To the point that I wouldn't even call these quests, as they are more like personal goals and dreams. Things like become a Pokémon Master, a top coordinator or a Pokémon Ranger. Career paths in the world of Pokémon. And it's up to you to decide which ones you want to achieve and when you've achieved them. Do you think being a Pokémon Master means beating the Pokémon League? Then that's what it takes. Or do you think you also have to beat the Battle Frontier? Then go ahead and beat it. Just like everything else, it's up to you. And achieving certain criteria within these paths will also grant you some big time rewards. For example, you'll just beat the Pokémon League. Now you'll receive your own personal training facility where you can train your Pokémon more easily. Or you're a breeder and you've been able to raise one Pokémon from every type with max health and affection. Now you're able to open up your own Pokémon ranch, where you can keep some of your Pokémon and also use as a place for breeding, giving you plenty of reasons to keep coming back to the world of Pokémon. This dedication to the open world format does offer one big problem though, and that is the gameplay and design, and then specifically the leveling system. With how linear the games are right now, the leveling system works just fine. However, we've all been in the situation that after beating the league, we end up back in our starting town. And once we set one foot out into the grass, we're attacked by a level 2 Bidoof. And well, if you've got a level 72 Gyarados, then there ain't really much of a problem anymore. This is why I want to get rid of the leveling system and replace the turn-based combat system with active combat where you fully control your Pokémon. Pokémon Tournament was a step in the right direction, and if they can improve upon the combat and add more main series game mechanics like status effects like paralysis and confusion, this could become a game for everybody to enjoy. All of this just scratches the surface of what this final game could be, and we haven't even talked about any of the characters or in what region this game should take place. So let me know what you guys think about this idea for an open world Pokemon game, or tell me how you would make one yourself. Let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you all next week.